happening?
Okay, so what do you think? I'm sure we've asked you this a few times, but I haven't personally spoken to you about this. But what are your three biggest problems or fears or issues with Islam?
Wow.
Top three.
Okay, my Bible, the New Testament tells me that Luke 16:16 says that up until now the law and the prophets, and from this time the kingdom. And it speaks about false prophets and false Christs and false gospels, and those are to be accursed even if they're brought by an angel. So that's my one big problem, is that it's a false Christ portrayed within the Quran. So that's one. The fact that Allah describes himself as Makkah, I don't know the verbiage, but as a plotter, planner, deceiver, depending on the translation. I believe it's Antichrist in that it denies the crucifixion, and that is one of the actual prerequisites for Antichrist. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's completely against the gospel of salvation and crucifixion and resurrection, which is what I adhere to. And because I love God, I don't want people to perish because they've been brought up in any kind of blindness to spiritual matters. So those are the three, I guess. Convince me.
Well, there's a lot to talk about.
You're going to ask another question, though. You're not going to counter my
There's a lot
point.
to talk about now.
So talk to me about last prophet.
So what would
the
you
last
say-
prophet is John.
What would you say Jesus
No,
looked
you're
like
asking
today?
a question. You're asking a question. No. No, I just answered, and now I'm asking.
Okay.
So the last prophet is John. And the Bible tells me, the word of my God tells me that is such. How do you try to convince me that there's another last prophet who's not in the line of Israel?
Now, I'm not a scholar.
I don't, neither am I.
Bottom of,
I'm not a scholar.
but I would say
not
to
for
you
this.
that to comment on what you said earlier, what do you think Jesus looked like, do you reckon?
To comment on... No, that's not an answer, that's a question, darling.
Would you say,
No, that's still a question.
okay, Jesus looked like the chap we see
It's
on the cross?
irrelevant to your answer to me.
Would you
It's
say,
irrelevant in terms of last prophet. I don't want to talk about Jesus. I want to talk about your prophet, who I say is Antichrist and not a prophet.
Antichrist?
Yes,
Yeah.
he said that Christ didn't die. He reported the words of Jibril, who reported the words of Allah, and said, for surely they slew him, nor did they crucify him. The Jews. Doesn't say the Romans didn't do it, but the Jews didn't kill him, for sure, Allah says. And the last prophet is John. So how are you going to convince me otherwise? Do you want to convince me otherwise?
To be honest, like I said,
You're not a scholar. I'm not a scholar either.
which-
I'm deficient according to your religion, so it should be a cakewalk for you. Hit me with it, bro.
So, you don't believe in Muhammad
That's
being...
a question again.
think-
No, that's a
Because I'm
question.
trying to get to the bottom of how...
I want you to convince me that Luke 16:16 is a lie, that there is another prophet to come with a false gospel or a true gospel, that Luke 16:16 is telling me that John is the last prophet. I would like you to try to convince me that Muhammad is the last
Would you
prophet.
say Muhammad
No,
was
that's a
mentioned
question.
in the Bible or not?
I'm not answering you until you answer my question. Or try to attempt a defence of your position. Like, you're just questioning me again. I've answered you three things that I find most troubling about Islam, and now we're focusing on one tiny element, which the man and the book, the man and the book. The man says he's the last prophet. The book says it's a miracle, even though this last prophet, who is only a warner, didn't bring any miracles. We can go into that another time. Why is Muhammad a prophet?
Well, we should wait for Brother Hamza or Hijab
Do
to
you
make
see this? Do you see this nonsense?
Yeah, I'm not a scholar.
Hamza! Are you
him to,
gingerist?
explain-
Are you gingerist?
I'm just a bit of a fan of him. I think he's
Shut.
one of the wisest people in here.
Wise.
Yeah.
Wow, high praise,
A lot
Dal.
of knowledge on board. And he
Okay.
gives you reasons.
Nice, I'll have to
Logics
question.
for everything.
Yep.
So,
So you can't defend your
I
own
would really
position
rather-
theologically.
I mean, I'm not a scholar, so
Neither am
I wouldn't
I'm not a
want to give the
scholar.
wrong information.
Okay. I'll
But I shall, if Brother Hamza or Hijab or
Hijab owes me a
Hashim
debate. Mo,
is
what
watching,
are you
I
saying?
guess this young lady here deserves an
Young.
answer. and
Bless him,
explanation.
Takira at work.
I got to butter her up now. So yeah, hopefully when you guys are back, we'll remember this question
Yeah,
and
for
we'll
sure.
expect to give her a nice answer.
Lovely.
Thank you very much.
Hungry is what you get about 8:30.